Hello everybody, and just here and welcome back to Yofukashi no Uta, Call of the Night. A very apt name, I guess, for my current situation. It's 2:45 after midnight as I'm recording it, because the daytime heat simply doesn't allow me to. My phone just overheats. So I just slapped a heatsink over it. Well, heatsink, a piece of aluminum foil that makes up a heatsink. I think you can even see the reflection in my case. Yeah, that's my phone with its bit of aluminum foil. I have the fan going, and finally I can record something in peace, I guess. And I guess from now on, unless until at least at least until the heat wave passes, I guess I'm gonna be recording at night. I felt the call of the night, and the call of the night was essentially telling me to run the fuck away from the daytime heat. Right. Regardless of all of that, this time around it's time for episode 3, which I'm assuming will be interesting. Because by the end of episode 2, we got introduced. Well, introduced might be a little overselling it. A brand new character has appeared. One of Kou's former classmates, perhaps, or current classmates. I don't necessarily know how to look at it. I'm assuming he's still enrolled in school, he's simply not going there. So I'd say one of his current classmates. And it turns out she was the one who took the other transceiver. What prompted her to use it right now? I don't know. Was she maybe using it the entire time, like on her daily walk from school? I don't know that either. What's gonna happen with her, with a brand new character? I have absolutely no way of knowing. What I do assume is going to happen is something interesting. And that's essentially where my predictions end, because I don't know if what we're gonna see is going to be tragic in nature, comedic, hopeful, not. Are we gonna get into the psychology of Ko and why he refuses to go to school, why he became a shut-in? Are we gonna find a new friend who wants to join us for nighttime walks? What about Nazuna? Where does she fit into the whole thing, right? There's a lot of questions that I do not have any answers for. And we just need to watch this episode to find those answers. I hope the aluminum foil won't obstruct the camera. If it does, then do forgive me, but it is what I must do to ensure that my camera works somewhat smoothly. Well, my phone, I don't have a camera. Sub. Okay, right. Subs, because you will need them. Sound, because I will need it. And support, because that's another thing I need. You can support the channel on Patreon or Throne, and give me money so I can buy myself a real camera, not a phone. How about that? And of course, you can also support the channel by sharing my content, spreading the word, sending links to your friends and family, and complete strangers. The word of mouth really does matter a lot for the growth of a channel. And with all that out of the way, we can start watching Yofukashi no Uta, episode 3, version by Saps, please. As usual, in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, there's a moth in my room. Akira, where's your bike? I love the mood. Oh, and Akira is no longer here. Okay, so he's completely and utterly clueless about not just romance, but human relationships altogether. Yeah, that's essentially the gist of it. There isn't some hard cutoff from where a person becomes your friend. Yeah. And how did it work back then? It works the exact same way. Eh. During the plague, I haven't seen my friends for like 2 years. Well, a year and some. We're still friends. Yeah. Yep. So I'm assuming we're going back to the night, to the moments before Akira appeared. He probably sent the signal out. Akira received it, and for some reason, instead of. Are the lyrics new? I think they might be. And she didn't contact him back, she just went on a hunt to find him. Yeah, the subs have to be new. Every time I think that this is the moment where the OP ends, but then it continues. I really do love the music in this show. Opening, ending, everything. The wounds are being filled, huh? That feeling when no vampire GF. Guess mine won't be filled. Huh? Gave? Someone is misremembering something. Okay, what's going on? Okay, so that checks out. Oh, and she noticed it. So they live in the same apartment building. Okay, a friend. Yeah, you got a friend, Cole. I wouldn't call it giving, but sure. No, it's really good actually. You have a friend. You have someone. Ain't that what you wanted? Okay, so he was the weird kid. You don't seem to be having fun with everybody, rather alongside everybody. They're doing their own thing, you're doing your own. Okay, so he agreed to being friends. What the hand doing? Uh, yeah, that's pretty damn early. Okay, gotcha. Okay, okay, we're getting somewhere. Unexpected, for sure. One's better than none, though, so hey. The situation is almost as if he's hooking up with some prostitute every night. Yeah. I mean, it is a physical relationship, sure. The act of drinking someone's blood is physical after all. Yes. I love their little blobby faces. I have no mouth, but I must scream. If it continues, he's gonna have issues falling in love with Nazuna. And the drunkard trio is there, as always, drunk as always. Right? You just spend the time with each other. Just sitting together in comfortable silence. Oh, that's an interesting visual effect. Now, don't jump to conclusions. Oh, and she's watching. Probably not. Right, and her mind immediately goes into the gutter. Right. I mean, she's not wrong, but don't go hanging out with weirdos. Exactly. Chan? Yeah, what's with the suffixes, huh? Because she doesn't handle romance fairly well, any well whatsoever. Chomp? Yeah, it's not gonna be a kiss. Relax. Or is it a raspberry? No, she did drink his blood. She's very open about being a vampire. I did not expect that. I was expecting her to try and hide this fact, but she's got it and she flaunts it, I guess. I'm loving the art on the halfway point. No, probably not. Kohihotto. Yeah, to remember the vocabulary if I ever happen to go to Japan. I guess for the most part you can just use English and it's the same. Biru, kohi. Now you can see the aluminum foil. Okay, she's no bullshit. I like it. But okay, fair. Through the help of a psychologist, probably, but I know the state of psychological help in Japan, so probably not an option. Okay, good for her. Ooh, hand on the thigh? But what about his nightly excursions? What will you pick? Nightlife or day life? Right? Akira represents the day, Nazuna represents the night. I love the shaky cam and the dolly zoom. Ah, that's your angle. To sow some discord between them. Oh. Okay, so I guess, at least for now, Kou made his choice, and his choice is Nazuna. No, she probably just wanted to dine and dash. Okotta? Okotta? Is it a Pop Teppy Pig skit? I mean, he's correct. Just fucking tell him what's wrong. He lost sight of her. Yeah, figures. You can't exactly chase a vampire. More so at night. Oh, and the music comes in. And we're just vibing to a beautiful city scenery. I like how every every episode seems to have this moment of just vibing to some great music and some great scenery. It was a thing in episode 1, in episode 2, and in episode 3, and I hope they continue. Huh? Oh, I thought he got like little weak or from blood loss or not having slept or something. But no, he just tripped. Because he doesn't know what he has to apologize for. He clearly has to apologize for something, but he has no clue what. And you're not making it any easier, Nazuna. So what's your problem? Oh, and she's already here. Drawn by the smell of his blood. I mean, relationship is a relationship. Physical, emotional. Yeah, I guess different levels of severity. That I want to become a vampire. Yeah, okay, figures. Yeah, makes sense, genuinely. He fell. Lick. Lick on the lips. Or a kiss. Plenty ambiguous. Gee, I wonder. And the overly rendered lips. And off she goes. She didn't burn, which is interesting. It's. What do you mean? Friends don't kiss each other. What have I been doing with my homies all this time? Sorry. And the complete madness of the ending. "14, that's no coincidence." Yep, I still love the ending. Even more so now that I know the lyrics. And credits. That was it. That was Yofukashi no Uta. Episode 3. Serialized in Weekly Shonen Sunday. Opening theme Daten by Creepy Nuts. Ending theme Yofukashi no Uta by Creepy Nuts. Liden film, yeah. English language version. Anything particularly interesting in the credits? Not really. After credits scene? Probably not. Yep, that was it. That was episode 3 of Yofukashi no Uta, Coal the Night. How about we go through it again? Shall we? And there we go. Okay, we're doing some flashbacks here. It was kind of confusing to me. I didn't know if it was a jump forward that he completely disregarded his friend, and maybe we're gonna get a flashback now as he ran away from Akira or something like that. But no, this is a flashback. So that's clear. From what point are people friends? Well, that differs and that depends, and there is no set definition of a friend, is there? Right? There isn't. Everybody just feels it, I guess. And Ko has problems feeling it. He generally, I notice, has issues with maybe not emotions per se, but issues with understanding relationships. Interesting. Interesting that it's not only that he's clueless about romance, but he's also clueless about friendship and about just interpersonal relationships in general. Also interesting that Akira mentions that he had plenty of friends back in the days, if I remember what she said correctly. I wonder what's up with that. Still too complicated, I guess. You can just ask, is it okay to assume someone's a friend? Sure, it is. There is a person that I see. Yeah, we see each other exactly and precisely once a year. For 1 to 3 days, like in a row, there's a local convention at my city, like generic fantasy sci-fi that kind of stuff convention, and it lasts from Friday to Sunday. We meet there once a year, and that's essentially the extent of a relationship. And I still call her a friend, and I'd be glad if she called me a friend. So hey, it's really unique for every single relationship. Sometimes a friendship just completely fizzles out after a month of not seeing each other. Sometimes a friendship is for life, genuinely. Sometimes you leave school and suddenly all your school friends just vanish. You graduate and suddenly no one really stuck around. You were friends when you were going to the school together, but now that you are no longer there, you no longer have a reason, a drive to see each other. The friendship kind of just gets Thanos out of existence. Every friendship is unique. That they were accomplices under the apple tree, chased away to this unfortunate dimension. Yeah, I love the OP, of course. I never threw it out because you gave it to me, remember? This threw me out of the loop for a moment because, yeah, and there's this. We were always in different classes, yeah. And you became a lot more outgoing around 6th grade and made a lot of friends. This made me take a step back because from what Cole told us, he never really had any friends and he just left that transceiver on the mailbox. That was his version. And suddenly she comes in and says that the transceiver was given to her and that there was a time when Ko had many friends. So that's a pretty fucking big discrepancy, isn't it? And I was already raking my brain for what kind of tomfuckery is going on here. Is Cole just misremembering things? Are his memories of that time so completely repressed that he replaced them with fake memories, essentially? Is he that deep into his wallowing that he rejected the very idea that he could ever have friends? I was thinking that might be it, that he's so comfortable in his stagnation, in his wallowing, in the fact that he doesn't have anybody, that he completely repressed his memories of ever having friends, of ever having a friend so close that he gave the transceiver to. And he replaced those memories with fake ones of just leaving the transceiver on the mailbox, of never having any friends, stuff like that. But apparently, she just kinda misinterpreted the whole transceiver thing, that Ko just left it on the mailbox and she understood it as Ko leaving the transceiver for her because they live in the same apartment complex, apparently. Something along those lines. You haven't been to school lately, yeah. Seemed to be pretty gloomy. You were standoffish, and I wasn't sure you really thought of me as your friend. Made me happy. And yeah, she was apparently willing to accommodate his weirdness in their friendship. She wasn't trying to drag him out to come run away with us, run around with us. He noticed that he has a hobby of watching bugs, and she decided to partake in that hobby of watching bugs to have fun with her friend. Makes sense. She wakes up early and goes for a walk. What a coincidence. Two night owls, it would seem. Or I guess she's like a morning other bird. I guess morning. What's the morning bird? I don't know. She likes waking up early in the morning and taking a walk, and he just likes to stay up for a long time. And Nazuna just completely shuts him off. I didn't have a single friend. Yeah, okay, good night. That's it. This scene, it really looks like he's been seeing some exclusive prostitute for the longest time, some escort or something, and they got so close that she's like, "Oh, you're going home earlier today? Are you seeing someone else?" I really like it because it kind of is this way, except not sexual, except it's all about drinking blood. Although Nazuna does claim that drinking blood is like eating and copulating, so I guess you could interpret it that way. Except in that scenario, it's not Nazuna who's the prostitute, it's Kou. So, yeah, a little bit of a reversal. Yeah, I really love this scene. Random small talk. Feel like she wasn't quiet like this. What made her quiet? Cause disappearance, perhaps. Perhaps she wanted to adjust herself to fit Kou better. Like that time that she decided to watch ants with him. Maybe she changed for him. Maybe she changed because he disappeared and she became much more, maybe not reclusive, but much more withdrawn because she didn't have her only friend or her best friend at school with her. That would be my interpretation. Again, we're playing with light, we're playing with color, and this makes absolutely no sense, but really serves to highlight the scene, and I like it. And here comes Nazuna. Of course, as always, with the sexual innuendos. And yeah, I'm a vampire and I drink his blood. That's a relationship. I really was thinking that Nazuna is gonna be more secretive. That's how we pronounce it, right? Secretive. Uh, but the fool I am. Of course, she's not the type to be secretive about her identity. She's not a vampire that hides the fact she's a vampire. She knows that no one's gonna believe you, and she uses that knowledge to full extent. And she just like that, discloses that, hey, I'm a vampire. What you gonna do about it? No one's gonna believe you. And she flaunts the fact that she's a vampire. Nice hole in the wall cafe, open at night. Well, I say at night, early in the morning, it's like 4 or 5 a.m. probably. Is this a usual thing? But then I just couldn't be bothered anymore. Yeah, that's a mood, isn't it? Eventually just can't be bothered anymore. Things just completely lose their appeal. That spark just kind of fizzles out and you just can't be asked. I have a feeling we're gonna get into like some psychological themes here. Maybe not particularly deeply, but we're certainly gonna do a little bit of a deconstruction of Ko's mind. What made him lose interest in school? What made him not realize, not know relationships? What made the night so appealing to him and all that stuff? I have a feeling we're gonna get into the nitty gritty of it. Like the fun stuff is one thing, sure, but we're gonna get into his mind and perhaps even into the minds of other characters. And that's gonna be cool. How are you supposed to deal with that emotion? Yeah. How are you supposed to deal with the feeling of withdrawal? Well, one way to deal with that is obligation. But I have to go. Sometimes I can't tell if my friends are still friends. Yeah, see, for some people, the obligation is enough of a motivation. For some people, it's not. And again, that's another thing that differs person to person. If obligation is enough for you, then even if you're completely dead inside and completely rid and void of any sort of internal drive, you continue doing the thing because you're obliged to do it. And because you're already doing that, so might as well continue. And then you have some people who are like, yeah, the spark isn't there anymore, peace out. And they just end the thing. They stop going to school, they stop going to work, whatever, and the motivation of obligation just doesn't work for them. And Ko is clearly in that category. Come to school with me. I'm Nazuna Nanakusa, a vampire. Asai Akira, human. Again, playing with light, playing with color, the whole scene, right? The whole cafe changed color. It's at one moment it's a very bright, very cheerful place, very homely, and then at another moment when Nazuna takes the stage, so to speak, it suddenly turns into night. Suddenly the lights are dim. Suddenly everything is orange and has that subtle neon, not even subtle, all the lights have that neon glow on them. Everything has some bloom, and I love how they're using filters and effects and colors to highlight the changes in scenes, the changes in the theme, the changes in the vibe of a scene. I really do enjoy that. Kokun's friend. Hadn't seen him in a while. What were you doing all this time? Well, that's a good question. Don't you, did you think to contact him? And this dolly zoom that creates the feeling of uneasiness, right? That Nazuna right now is reading Akira like an open book. Why didn't you contact him, huh? And she clearly becomes distressed by it, right? That sweat drop, that little shrug, that little change in posture, tucked in chin, defensive position, right? And she achieved her goal. I'm assuming that Nazuna's goal here wasn't to like antagonize Akira, but she has something bigger in mind. Maybe she did want to antagonize Akira a little bit and essentially, in a way, tell her that you have to start doing better. If you want to continue the friendship, you have to put some effort into it, right? That's my read on it. Or Nazuna can just be a little shit. It's equally as probable, and maybe I'm just reading too much into the whole scene. Honestly. And of course, she's ticked off. Vibing moment. Sorry for what? Well, I don't know. You never told me what you're angry about. If I don't know what you're angry about, I don't know what to say sorry about. Simple, really. Sun is rising and Nazuna is perfectly fine, which is interesting, which is curious. Perhaps the sun isn't high enough yet? Or maybe she doesn't perish in the sun. Oh. She said, come with me to school. Why couldn't you answer right away? Oh, no, I didn't want it to be this fast. And he's correct. He dreams right now of becoming a vampire, and it would be quite hard to tell your human friend that, yeah, I'm not going to school and I hang out at night because I want to become a vampire. Akira doesn't entirely believe in the whole vampire thing yet, so how would she take it, right? So yeah, makes sense, but at the same time, was it all? Or do you genuinely just have a hard time picking between the day and the night? Right? Because uh, Kou kinda went to the night side, right? He picked the night because his day life was kinda miserable. But now there is a promise, there is a possibility of his day life being turned around. He finds out that he has a friend. And maybe going to school wouldn't be that bad if he has a friend there. Maybe his day life can be salvaged, but at the same time he already committed to the life of the night, and there is that you have to pick. You have to pick one. Do you want your day life or do you want your night life? And you can't pick both because you have to sleep. And both sides have their representation, have their maybe not personification, but representation for sure. The night is represented by Azuna. The day is represented by Akira. Who's he gonna pick? We don't know that. We genuinely don't know that yet. A kiss and a taste of blood. See you tomorrow, friends. Friends don't kiss each other. And the ending with lyrics this time. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Yofukashi no Uta, Call of the Night, episode 3. And what can I say? It was amazing as always. That's essentially the only comment I can give. I'm not gonna constantly talk about the scenography, about the use of colors, about the use of light, about the music, because I said things about those time and time and time again, and my impressions hasn't changed. So assume that all those segments of me gushing about the art and about the animation and about the colors and about the light and about the music from previous videos still apply to this one. How about that? What did appear in this episode in some bigger capacity, though, are those psychological themes. We're kind of sort of getting into that direction, into that territory of trying to figure Ko out, of trying to figure out what makes him tick and what makes him tick at night. Exactly, why exactly does he want to become a vampire? What happened in his life that he apparently used to be friends, used to be very sociable back in 6th grade, and then became a recluse and then completely stopped going to school. There was the event of him receiving a love letter and just rejecting the girl, but is that reason enough? Or was there something more? Is the cause of all his misery his inability to understand relationships? Is that the cause? And can he be helped in some way, shape, or form? Right? Could it be that he had friends, or what he thought were friends at the time, but it wasn't really particularly friendly relationship? He was just a part of a group or a part of a class, and everybody was courteous towards him, but never forged any deeper friendships, except Akira, who I feel like she kind of decided that she's Ko's friend, and Ko just never said no. I have a feeling that's what happened. And when any sort of a road bump appeared before Ko, like the moment where he was grilled by the other girls over why did he reject the letter, he just dropped it all, dropped the entire school. He just couldn't be asked anymore. I wonder if that could be the case, and if so, then where are we gonna go from here? In what direction? What are we gonna explore, and what angles are we gonna take? are the deeper themes of this anime, of the original manga as well. Do they have to do with mental health? Maybe. I don't know. Would be kinda cool, not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm looking forward to where the series is gonna be taken from this point. Because it can be taken in some very interesting, very curious directions. And I would love pretty much any direction they can take it in. So I'm gonna be looking forward to it. A little bit of a short video, not gonna lie. But the thing about Yofukashi no Uta is that every episode has a certain singular theme. And yeah, it's not like in some anime you have every episode has multiple things going on there, multiple themes. In case of Yofukashi no Uta, there's one thing, one thing per episode, so there isn't that much quantitatively to discuss, I have a feeling. And also we get those moments of chill music and landscapes and some very pretty, very beautiful shots over on with just complete silence on top sometimes, and that takes away from the meritorical content of each episode, but I don't mind it because the form that it's presented in more than makes up for it. Yeah, I don't think I have anything more to say on the topic, but maybe you do. Maybe you have something to say about this episode, about my reaction, about my theories. I don't know. If so, tell me about it down in the comments below. Just keep it spoiler free, please, please, I beg of you. I don't know what direction this story is gonna take, and I don't wanna know. Or rather, I want to know the direction when the direction becomes obvious. I don't want anybody to tell me. So please don't. If you do want to talk spoilers, there's my Discord. Link is here. Link is also in the description. There's the Yofukashi no Uta channel there. You can use spoiler tags and talk spoilers freely because I'm not gonna read them. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases, not only of Yofukashi no Uta, but also of Overlord Season 4, Hataraku Mao-sama Season 2, Ruby, Ice Queendom, what else? Symphogear GX, and a mystery show that my patrons are currently voting for, and I don't even know what's gonna win, so I don't know what's the mystery show gonna be. And if you do wanna vote in that poll, you can do that if you support me on Patreon. Link again in the description. And you can support me not only to vote, but also to maybe get early access to non-seasonal shows, like Symphogear GX, like whatever the mystery show ends up being. If so, then support me for $10 a month and you're gonna get early access. For $5, you get to vote in the polls, like the one that's currently going on. And for just $1, you get a role on the Discord server, and you also get a place in the credits that are gonna be coming at you very, very shortly. You can also support me on Throne. It's a brand new thing that I'm trying out. You can essentially pitch towards me buying a new camera or buying a cam link or buying some new lights or stuff like that. There's a link in the description. And if you don't want to spend any money, you can still support the channel by sharing my content, sharing my videos, telling people that I exist and I make content that they might be interested in. The word of mouth really does matter a lot for the growth of the channel, so I'm forever grateful to everybody that shares it with the outside world. Like, comment, subscribe, follow. No, don't follow me anywhere. Please, I don't want stalkers. Yeah, I shilled everything that needed to be shilled, I think. If I forgot about something, who cares? You probably already clicked off this video and you're not even hearing me talk about that stuff. So right now, that's gonna be it from me for today. And as always, you guys do all the good stuff. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers. And here's the credits that I promised. The list is only getting bigger and I'm forever grateful to everybody that's on it.